said I'm ready for greatness. I 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 said I'm ready for greatness.
How's it going, everybody? Happy 2026. What's good, fam? Welcome back to the Big Will Breakdown. Today's episode is a little different, and I want to say this clearly up front. This is not a fear episode. This is not a doom and gloom episode. This is not me predicting the future. This is an orientation episode. Because when things feel loud, when the headlines feel chaotic, when people start asking, what is happening right now? The most calming thing you can do is understand where you are on the historical map. And history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So today, I want to give you some calm context. Now, we're going to give you some historical context because I'm a big World War II buff, World War I, World War II. And there are certain things that happened in Germany. So to give you context, we're going to talk about Germany between the wars. Now, I've been watching documentaries about the period in Germany after World War I. It's the area known as the Weimar Republic. This was a fascinating, complicated moment in history. Germany had just come out of a devastating war. The old monarchy was gone. A new democracy was forming. And at the same time, the country was experiencing rapid cultural change. Women gained more freedom. Art, film, and music exploded creatively. Berlin became one of the most sexually open cities in the world. But for others, especially people who have built their identity around tradition, hierarchy, and certainty, it felt terrifying. And here's the key thing to understand. Two Germanys existed at the same time. One was moving forward, the other felt left behind. And progress doesn't feel like progress to everyone at the same speed. Now, you need to understand how authoritarian movements gain traction. Now, this is where some people sometimes oversimplify history. With figures like Hitler didn't rise because everyone all of a sudden became evil or stupid. They rose because fear was already present. There were three big forces at work. First, cultural shock. People felt their identity slipping away, their values were questioned, their place in society uncertain. Number two, there was economic instability. It was inflation, unemployment at record numbers, and national humiliation. When people are scared and struggling, complexity feels unbearable. And third, narrative relief. Here comes someone that is offering simple explanations, clear villains, promises of order, and a mystic past to return to. And here's the line that most matters. Hitler didn't invent the anger, he just organized it. That is the distinction, which is very important to understand. Now, transition to today, where the rhyme exists. And I want you to hear me carefully. This is not a one-to-one comparison. History does not repeat itself exactly, but we are seeing familiar patterns rhyming. Today, we are almost living through rapid cultural acceleration. Conversations around gender and sexuality, changes in family structures, changes to traditional religious authority, huge demographic shifts. And for many people, that speed feels overwhelming. When society changes faster than people can emotionally process, fear looks for structure. Strong rhetoric feels comforting. When complexity feels exhausting, you're looking for that strong man. That doesn't make someone evil, it makes them human. We all seek our level of comfort. But what it does mean, we need to be very careful about how fear gets framed and used. Now, the big difference in today and 1930. Here's the part that gives me peace, and it should give you peace too. The information environment today is radically different. Back then, information moved very slow. It was siloed. It could be controlled. Abuses could be normalized before being challenged by anybody. What's different about today? Everything is instant. The moment it happens, it's on our phones, it's recorded, it's debated, it's documented. Authoritarianism thrives on silence and slowness. We live in an area of noise and speed. That doesn't eliminate risk, but it raises the cost of concealment dramatically. And personally, I have a rule I live by. If 3 respected independent sources say the same thing, then I can hang my hat on it. That's not panic. That's discipline. Now, I'm going to give you my perspective as an African American. Now, here's something that doesn't really get said enough or even talked about. As African Americans, we've lived through hundreds of years of these shifts. Selective enforcement, state power applied unevenly, sudden loss of safety. These are not abstract ideas to us. They're lived experience. What's happening now is the circle of exposure is widening. The people who assumed immunity are now encountering systems they never even had to think about before. So for many, this is very shocking. But the truth is, the system didn't suddenly change. Who it touches did. That's not judgment, that's history. And part of our role right now is helping people understand that reality without panic, without shame, and without denial. Now, what do you do with this information? First, stay informed. Not addicted to headlines. Second, verify before you share. Facts calm fear. Speculation feeds it. Third, talk with people, not at them. And fourth, understand history before reacting to the moment. And most importantly, do not let fear collapse your thinking. Democracy doesn't usually disappear in one dramatic moment, but it erodes through small permissions and is preserved through sustained attention. History isn't here to scare us. It's here to teach us where the guardrails are. So stay grounded, stay informed, and remember, clarity is contagious. This has been the Big Will Breakdown. I appreciate you listening. Listen over and over again. If you got any questions, hit me up. I'll talk to you soon. Head down, tunnel vision, I don't see the hate. Clocking every hour, yeah, I'm building my pay. Took me some L's, paid the cost but never broke. Pressure make the diamonds, now I'm speaking in smoke. Age ain't a limit, it's a badge upon my chest. I'm still out running young bucks till my last breath. Legacy in motion, you can see it in my steps. Heart of a lion, and you better show respect.
I said I'm ready for greatness. 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 I said I'm ready for
The Big Will Breakdown is written and hosted by William Big Will Elijah. This episode is a 5 Ethos Studios production, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. If this episode gave you something to carry forward, turn on notifications and follow the show. New episodes are available on all major podcast platforms.